So the other question I wanted to ask you, we very recently lost baseball legend Tommy Lasorda. Was Dodgers manager, and I went back and I watched the video that I've seen before of an altercation that you had on field with Tommy. And it's hard to tell how serious that was. I mean, was he really angry with you, or was that all in good fun?
Well, I'll tell you, this is great because I was interviewed on WIP about this, and condolences to the Tommy's family and his brothers. I mean, he is from Norristown, and I said the only bad thing is that suffering that the family is going through. But I rejoice in getting the opportunity to know Tommy. So John Marks on WIP said, "Oh, okay, so he was okay with it until he wasn't," which I thought that was a perfect description. Yeah. Yes, for years, all the way back to 1979, when I first got to know him in Japan, when the Phanatic was the mascot for Major League Baseball's tour of Japan, where an all-star team from American League and an all-star team from the National League went and played these these fun games in front of Japanese audiences, and they were filling the stadiums. And Tommy Lasorda was a god in Japan. I mean, he was the brand extension for American Major League Baseball, and they love and continue to love baseball in Japan. So I would make fun, as the Phanatic would make fun of Tommy, and the Japanese fans would go absolutely hysterical. It's like making fun of the Pope. And they couldn't believe it, and they were gasping, and then they were laughing. And when Tommy realized that he was a showman and he understood the timing, and we did this whole routine in front of the Japanese audience, which continued to reoccur the following years in Philadelphia when the Dodgers came, and he was all a part of it. It got to be a little more intense because he was trying to lose weight during that particular time. He hadn't had pasta for a few weeks, and he came in there and he was trying to stop me from. He didn't know how I was getting his jersey to dress up the effigy, the dummy, like Tommy. So he was colluding with their clubhouse manager not to bring multiple Lasorda jerseys on the road. So he thought he had prevented it. So I went and bought a jersey, had it embroidered for that particular night, and I think it was the perfect storm. And like Johnny Marks said, that's when he didn't. He loved it, got along with it until he didn't.
The effigy had a big pillow stuffed in its belly, it seemed.
It did, and I should have just removed the pillow and said, "Look, you've lost your weight." But we made up, and he was very genuine in his kindness towards me. He would say, "David, I love you. I hate that Phanatic." So I took that as a compliment that I was able to be such a good performer that I was able to separate my entity from the Phanatic's in his mind. And he always used to say to me, "How's your dad?" Tommy lived till he's 93. I lost my dad 3 years ago this December. He made it to 92. And I always appreciated that. He was Tommy was a manager of a major league team, and he always recognized what I lived with and what my dad would go through being a head football coach. And so I'll miss him. I think the thing that I said numerous times during that period where he passed was that baseball, we're weeding out those tremendous personalities that seem to have been diluted because of analytics and the new way that they teach baseball, coach baseball, manage baseball. And we Earl Weaver, Jay Johnstone, Tommy Lasorda, Tug McGraw, they're all gone. And we need that, and he was the best ambassador in baseball because he had that great personality. He was a showman, but he also understood what a beautiful game it was, and he inspired the crowd to see that beauty that I think we're missing.